Jai Bhagwan, my friends. How are you today? This is a psychic reading for you if this is your birth date, July the 25th. This is a 4-card pull to cover the year to follow. I do psychic readings. I do a lot of different healing modalities in my office in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I do a lot of readings over the internet, one-on-one, personal, through different video connections. This is a 4-card pull, about 6 to 10 minutes long. Bear with me, especially if it's your birthday. So this is a lens card to look at the year, a challenge you might face this year, an action you can take to stay in balance, and an outcome or a synopsis card, a way to look at the whole thing. So this is the lens card, the empty room. And what is the empty room talks about? We're all, a lot of us afraid to go into empty rooms. We go into a room that doesn't have anything on the walls, that doesn't really, maybe even there's shutters on the windows. It's maybe, just natural light, which is dark. The empty room is often a scary place for us because we want distractions. We want things to look at, and we want to look out windows, and we want to look at the air, and we want to look to see what is outside coming, and we want to know what we're going to face, or what we're going to do, or what's our next thing, and we want things on our walls, and we want things on our desks, but they're all kind of distractions from really looking at ourselves deeply. And the empty room, I think, is a place of maybe somewhat fears because of the shadows that might exist in those empty rooms, and the memories that might exist in those empty rooms, and the senses of you're the only one there in that empty room, and is anyone there for you? Especially, if you're. This is a sense of, hermitage, I think, whether you are willing to go into the empty room to listen and hear yourself deeply, or whether you want to shy away or avoid or push away the empty room, the hermitage, the hermit, the crone, the going off to oneself, the seeker of, the hidden knowledge. Maybe you feel like you need to push it away because it's just too much, or it might reveal too much, or it's too painful, or it's too scary, or whatever reason. But I think the empty room, in a lot of ways, is that place that holds a lot of fear. But the empty room also is that place of potentiality, pure potentiality. Anything and everything comes out of the void, and can come out of that empty room. And it can spark you. It can spark your imagination. It can spark your creativity. It can spark your passion. It can spark your sense of your own vitality. But you have to be willing to be open to the empty room. And sometimes you have to be willing to say, no, I can't go to the empty room right now. I'm all right with a little distraction, but as long as I keep coming back to it, to keep looking at myself and keep things manageable along the way. So the empty room holds a lot of different powers. And what does this particular year mean, and what does it mean for the empty room? So this is your challenge, 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands is generally about, I think, going off unto yourself to listen to yourself. The 9 of Wands talks, I think, a lot about having a great sense of, you've used your fire, your push, your drive to create different things in your life, and you've learned along the way that just creating for yourself can feel empty, and just pushing hard can drain you, and not having enough push can separate you and keep you kind of, in a depressed place. So I think, and then to substitute a higher kind of passions and drives for those lower ones that may keep us locked in and keep us negative and keep us unfulfilled. The sense, sixes are about sharing heart with another. Nines are about recognition from others that you're already at the level that they see you as if not a master, then a really pronounced advocate or doer or creator or magician of your life. But the 9 often says, yes, I have a lot now, but I need to coalesce it all. I need to understand it in a bigger way, and I need to go off unto myself and listen to myself and be unto myself and seek for the wisdom that is in those places that are the empty room, the caves, the woods, the places where other people's words don't infiltrate, where other people's psychic energies don't infiltrate, where the cement doesn't shut me off, where the activity of the day doesn't distract me. Empty room, the distractions in the in the room that's full. So this person is normally seeking the empty room, but that's your challenge, because I don't think it's time for you to seek the empty room this year. It's not time for you to go on your hermitage, your pilgrimage, sure, on limited levels. And you can develop things that talk to you about looking at yourself deeply. But to go to hermitage right now might not be the easiest or the best thing for you. So you have to trust and open and remember and find some empty rooms along the way this year that really speak to you, because I think the action to take for you is beaver, is cooperation with others to build something that speaks to you on a higher level. The beavers, are building, their home. But what do? They build a dam, and they dam up a whole water run, and they create a whole ecosystem where lots of different critters now come to feed and bathe and partake in the water where they couldn't when it was rushing water. Now it's water that's slowly moving but oxygenated and aerated and fit for more communion. So this, I think, is what you're asked to do. Do the things that are fit for more communion with yourself and others. And in that sacredness, in that space of serving yourself and serving others, because you will, beaver is ultimately about serving the community and creating wider ecosystems, and, it's participating with whoever your fellow beavers are, to build something, to work together to build something. And that's, I think, ultimately what this is talking to you about this year. Is like, yes, you can't get away to yourself, so try a different method. Try absorbing yourself into sacred work, into sacred holy work and sacred creationism, working with others. It will speak to you in a way that's appropriate for you, and then you'll know, I think, later if going off unto yourself can really serve you. But for right now, I think it's staying present and working out your stuff through others and through service and through because that's Nine of Wands really also recognizes that service is the thing to do. And sometimes the service here is going off and finding your own enlightenment and bringing back to share with the world, the hermit and the crone. But here it's also service is at the heart of things. And if you're serving, if you're giving and you're receiving, you'll receive what you need as well. You'll receive understandings that will serve you. You'll receive directions and information and growth that will serve you. And then you can, as you need to, share your light and share your questions and share, I think, don't avoid sharing your pain this year. It's like you can go into your empty room and come out of your empty room with an issue, if you're willing to look at it, that wants to have some help. I mean, this is somebody, a beautiful face, but look at the waves and look at the darkness and look at the sense of reaching up for something. Is this person asking for help? Is this person graced by Creator to have a golden light that says, relax, you're okay, you'll be taken care of, you'll be fine? But you have to, share, you have to give and receive, you have to talk to and ask for assistance. And on some level, I think that's what the lesson for you this year is. You'll find the ways to enter your empty room, to find your questions, to bring your questions that you're afraid of, that you really want to hear the answers to, and you're willing to go off and be with yourself around. But on a lot of levels, you'll find more answers by working with others and working through and working towards some kind of sacred goal where more people and more beings and more of your own humanity is fed by feeding and taking care of and creating powerful places for other people to be. And along the way, you're gonna, find your grace and find some light and connect with your truth, and I think find a peaceful, beautiful, well-lit face in the midst of chaos, in the midst of confusion, in the midst of crisis, in the midst of imagination and creativity, in the midst of offering help and asking for help in return. I think, do you really fathom the empty room in a very deep way, and how doesn't have to be a scary place. It can be a place of great possibility and enlightenment, because once you heal one of those things and you come out on the other side showing other people the way, you've done what we're supposed to do. What is our path to enlightenment? You have served yourself and you have served humanity in a bigger way by finding your truth and going into the empty room and not being distracted from yourself, but totally being witness to and going into what you think is an empty room inside of yourself. Oh.